have to be stricter with yourself. You have to discipline yourself, and that is something that you learn. It's not automatic for most of us. It's something that we learn over time. You learn to be disciplined. You learn to say, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to call and thank all of the hostesses that hosted parties for me in the past 2 weeks. I'm going to leave them a message if I don't get them, but I'm going to call and give a personal thank you. And then after that 15 minutes is done, I am going to do one live that's going to go up on my page. And then I'm going to do some customer reach outs. And then that's it. I'm done. I'm moving on to the next thing. But do those things. Check them off your list. Have a list, be organized, and check them off. Because I'm telling you, when you do that, when you move on to that next thing, you're motivated. 5 days a week is what it takes. 5 days a week. If you don't do the 5 days a week, what happens is you lose your momentum. Has anyone here ever gone on a diet?
And I guess his husband kind of MIA.
So, if you ever go on a diet, we usually start them on Monday for some reason. Probably because we can have Saturday and Sunday to eat everything in sight. That's my strategy.
I don't know if it's out.
So, you start them on Monday. And Monday comes and oh my gosh, you are all in, totally motivated. And it starts good. You have breakfast, you have egg whites or some protein type of thing. You don't eat any carbs. And then lunch, you have your salad, which totally doesn't satisfy you, but you're in, you're sticking to it. And then dinner comes and you probably do okay for dinner. But Tuesday comes and it's hard now. Things are happening at work, things are happening at home, you need shop work. So you're like, well, I'll just have a mini cupcake, just one. Okay, so you have a mini cupcake, I'm moving on. But then the next day something else happens, and then by Friday, what diet? And every time you do that, it gets harder and harder to start again. Because the thing about momentum is that when it stops, it does not start on its own. It requires power. So I say this about the difference between running and biking. So when I'm on my bike, I can get tired and I don't have to pedal. I have momentum, and it will carry me for a certain period of time before the wheels just stop. But when I'm running, when they stop, I stop. There is no more momentum. There's nothing to carry me. That's what it's like. So you have to say, I'm going to commit 5 days a week to this. If that's all the time you have, 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 30-minute periods, morning and afternoon when your kids might be napping or you're waiting in a carpool line or something like that, use that time. Use the time that you have. Don't waste it. Because the thing about time is that it's a commodity. You cannot go to the corner store tonight at midnight to buy the 2 hours that you wasted earlier today. You never get them back. And that is heartbreaking to think about when you think of it in so many concepts in life. But there is never someone that says, you know, when they're on their deathbed, oh, I used my time so effectively. It's always the regrets that I didn't use my time well. Don't be that person. Don't live the same year over and over again only to find out that you lived no life. Because that's what happens. Really maximize your business. Business has the ability to change your life. How you want it to change is up to you. You might want to be able to afford a manicure and a pedicure every 2 weeks. You might want to quit your full-time job, retire your husband, retire early and sail around the world. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people have the opportunities to do, but they do require a certain financial wherewithal and planning. So you determine what that is. Determine it for yourself, and then don't let anything stop you. You have to sort of let fear get out of your way. You have to push it out of your way like it is nobody's business, because it's not going to move for you. You control you'd be surprised what you don't control. You'd also be surprised what you do get to control. You can control every single thing you say and every single thing that you do. Every single one of them. Nobody else gets to control that for you. So harness that control. Take it back and make it yours. We're women. There's nothing that we can't do if we want to. The problem is that we lose sight of that sometimes. We get caught up in being busy. And we forget that being busy is not being productive. And that's the problem. So if you're going to talk about high-value activities, do things that will make a difference to your business, because when they make a difference to your business, they're going to make a difference to your life, and your family's life, and your community's life, and everybody that you touch. Think about it. When you're in a good mood, is everybody around you happier? And when you're having a rough day, everything seems worse. Like everything. The stop sign is a hassle. Like everything is. You can't get your shoe on. It's a hassle. Ripping your nylons is a hassle. Like everything becomes like the size of Mount Everest. Because it's all up here. You have to ask yourself the right questions. Why am I doing this? And what do I want? And am I willing to do what it takes to get what I want? Because a lot of people want things in life. A lot of people do. But they're not willing to do what it takes. And that's what separates you from everybody else. Because the world is filled with ordinary people who take on extraordinary tasks. You just need only to turn on the news to read some of those stories, or to see some of those stories. We're all just ordinary people at the end of the day. There's nothing that's more unique about me than you, than anybody else. It's what you choose to do with the talents that you have, the skills that you have, the fears that you have, and the insecurities that you have. Because everybody has them. There's not one person that doesn't have them. You may not know it. And you don't really ever know what someone is thinking until they let you in. And even then, you always don't get the whole story. So don't judge people. Don't think that because I look like this, I would be interested in the unique opportunity, or because you know that I use a Chanel lipstick, which for the record I don't. But, and never have. But don't think that that means that I wouldn't enjoy unique products or the opportunity or hosting a party. Don't prejudge people, because you don't know. You think you know, but you really have no idea. Careful about that. Be really, really careful about it. You have the opportunity to change a life every single day with a conversation. Who else has that? Who else is able to change the life of a woman by something, a product, a conversation, a post? Nobody else does. Nobody else does. So you really want to leverage that and maximize that and take it as it's your responsibility to share this opportunity with people. You'd be remiss to not share this opportunity with people. Because if you didn't share it, look what would happen to the rest of the world. You know, I could stand up here and I could tell you my story, and you'd probably be shocked to know that, let's see. My father, the day after I found out I was pregnant, nobody knew I was pregnant, except my husband at the time. He had a stroke. We didn't know if he was going to live. And then he needed bypass surgery. He never had a heart attack. And he was the most healthy person. And in the course of a marriage falling apart, it became abusive. And my daughter lived through that. She was very young at the time. So those are things that when I share things like this, people are shocked because they think, you don't look like that type. But these things don't have looks, and they don't have types. Nothing in life does. Everything in life is a masquerade. Everything in life is a bit of smoke and a bit of mirrors, because we expose what we want to be exposed. So make sure that what you expose is genuine and sincere, because that's what attracts people to you. That's what makes all of you so unique and gives you the real amazing potential that you have. It's pretty cool if you ask me. So don't be afraid. Step out of your comfort zone. We're going to have someone that's going to do that shortly too. So, yes, she's going to. But you have to. You have to do it. You can control this and you can do it. And the fact that you all came here today, some with challenges to get here because of weather and timing and that sort of thing, you all showed up. And if you show up, you tend to go up. Because you get out of things what you put into them. You've put your time into this. You've committed to coming here and to learning from some really fabulous leaders. And you'll walk away, you'll leave this room this afternoon very different than when you walked in. You might not realize it might not be noticeable, but you'll see a shift. And the trick is now to harness that and to keep it. And to reach out to people to help you do that. Contact me on Facebook or email, whatever you prefer. I'm always around. I mean, I'm happy to talk to presenters at any time with their uplines and do those coaching calls or go to events and that sort of thing. But use the resources that you have available to you. Back office. All of the different webinars that happen. University, which is starting to build itself out nicely now. And take it and run with it. Run far and run super fast. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. And you'll see what happens when you put those two things together. So thank you very much. It's been such a pleasure to be with all of you.